Welcome to the next episode of Closers. I am the DA, and with me, as always, James Koulianos.
What's going on, everybody? Not sure if I'm in a good mood or a bad mood, but we'll figure it out, I guess.
You're in a mood. You're in a Mets mood. That's what it is. That's just who you are, Mets, and then how the Yankees make you feel every single year of your life. I forgot to mention, it's brought to you by Man Cave Sports. Soon to be one of the biggest. What do you want to call it, James? Producers
Startup
of
sports network of all time.
Sports network. Oh, we're growing. We're getting there. We'll see where this thing goes. But right now, James is kind of, I don't know where you are emotionally with the Mets. Obviously, we all know the Dodgers beat the Mets in Game 6 of the NLCS. Please give me just a really quick recap on the season. A really quick this is a pretty remarkable season, very unique season for the Mets. Everything from the ups and downs to the OMG song to having concerts on the field done by players, doing Grimace, the whole Grimace thing, which is just so ridiculous. Like McDonald's is just living the dream right now with Donald Trump and the Grimace thing. They're just getting free promotion everywhere, which is exactly what we want to do, is be showing our kids like nice, healthy food choices. So really like killing it, America right now. But Mets lose. They go down to the Dodgers. Where are you feeling? Where are you at?
It's weird. I have more pride in this team than I had in the 2015 team that went to the World Series. This was a lot more fun. This was a bigger roller coaster. This was, hey, we were 11 games under 500 at one point, and we came back and we made the playoffs. And not only did the team make the playoffs, they won 2 rounds. So you can't be upset if you're a Mets fan. But the baseball fan in me is happy that we got the World Series that everybody wanted to see. We wanted to see East versus West. Not only East Coast versus West Coast, but Western Hemisphere versus Eastern Hemisphere. We want Japan versus the United States. We want the 2 MVPs, Judge versus Ohtani. We wanted all of that, and now we got it. And this couldn't be any better for baseball. This is how you not only grow nationally, but take a look at the NBA. This is how you grow internationally. And I've been saying it for years. Major League Baseball does a terrible job promoting the guy on the back of the jersey. That's not the case with Ohtani. They do a great job promoting him, and I'm happy that they do it, and this is the best thing for baseball. Would I have been happy to see a Subway Series? Yes, but this is what's best for baseball.
Do you think the Mets can replicate this type of energy and this type of results next year? Or do you think this was like a special thing for this team for this time?
There's a better chance that our producer Alex is going to be voted sexiest man alive than the Mets doing what they did.
He's a good-looking guy, man. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, he's good-looking, but he's not
man.
He's not me. He's not Clooney. He's not John Stamos. He's good, but he's not in that league. I don't need there's no chance they're going to replicate this. They don't have the same guys. There's Iglesias is leaving. 3 of the starting pitchers are gone. JD Martinez is gone. You still don't know about Pete Alonso. Half the bullpen is going to be gone. So are they going to replicate this? If they do, it's going to be with a completely different team. So this energy is not going to be the same.
No, I don't think it's going to be the same either. And it's such a unique season, going 0-5, being 10 games below 500. I mean, just kind of being an absolute S show for a little while, and then just coming together, having those unique things we already talked about with the singing, with Iglesias singing, and having the Grimace thing, just how random that was and how it actually ended up being a thing. And
don't forget the Haktua girl.
What?
Don't forget the Haktua girl throwing out first pitch. That was important.
Yeah, yep, the Haktua girl first pitch. I'm kind of being everywhere, but she showed up in Citi Field because there you go. But then the run, and then the beating the Braves, the whole, I mean, it just everything that they had going to Philly and beating Philly. I mean, it's just been a pretty remarkable run from go to the end. And so, no, I don't think they can replicate the success either. That doesn't mean, though, that they're not going to have success and they're not going to be a great team. Like they've got money coming off the books. They got a lot of money coming off the books, and they still got to figure out a lot of position players, a lot of pitching. They still have a lot of issues that I think the team's going to be. If you go like day one of the offseason, this team's going to be way worse. We didn't have really high hopes for them in the first place, but they're going to be way worse with a lot of money to spend. They got to answer Pete Alonso, that big question, that pitching staff. They got to shore up more of the back end of that bullpen. They definitely need another bat, even with Alonso. One more steady guy and not just like cross your fingers that somebody steps up, and then figure out some of that rotation stuff. I think they're going to be great. Hopefully Senga then kind of comes into his own and really kind of owns that and starts be able to pitch every day, yada, yada, yada. The Mets, I think, actually might end up being better than what type of team they had now, but it won't be as fun of a run. Now, when we look on the other side, Guardians, when we look at that AL side, Guardians obviously got beat by the Yankees. I think that was that 5-game series? I think it was 5 games, right? 5 games, incredible fashion. Soto with the bomb, the huge home run, 3-run home run in the 10th inning of that game 5, and you saw him there getting the last out. That bat was absolutely incredible, and he just sat there. That was one of the most professional bats I'd ever seen, fighting off balls close, fighting off curveballs after changeups, and just sitting on a fastball up and crushing it. But the Guardians, where do you see the Guardians moving forward after this?
I give them a lot of credit. They had a fantastic season. But when I look at the Guardians, I don't see a lot of players that scare me. Yes, they have Steven Kwan. And yes, they have the most underrated player in all of baseball in Jose Ramirez. But they don't have a lot of great starting pitching. They have a very good closer. But I think they're a few pieces away from being that consistent winner. And the truth is, it's not as if the Central was very good this year. They got to beat up on the White Sox. They got to beat up on the Twins. So they got a lot of very cheap wins. In another division, I don't think they would have gone to the playoffs. But good for them. They did well. They got to the ALCS.
I like how you threw out the beat up on the Twins. The Twins were like a game or 2 out of the playoffs. They were actually pretty good. So, but again, 4 of the 5 teams or whatever it was were really decent, like legit teams, and the Twins could have made the playoffs like literally like a game out of the playoffs. But it's the White Sox. The White Sox gave everybody whatever it is, 6-8 wins. And when they get to beat up on that team, it's so easy. The whole division gets to beat up on the team. They get to beat up on each other. They destroy the White Sox. Everybody wins. Everybody gets in. If you give that into the AL East, I mean, you get 3 teams from the AL East, right? No teams from the Central get in. But I agree with you. The Guardians, while they have the most underrated player, and Jose Ramirez. I mean, this dude almost had 40-40 like under the radar, and he missed the game because it got like they didn't finish a game of the season at the very end there. He had an opportunity for it. He is so freaking good, but they have no rotation. None.
And I'm sorry, and he loves being there. That's the great thing about Ramirez is he doesn't want to go everywhere. So he goes to work every day happy in a place that he wants to be, and he's just like, come on, bring it. I'm gonna take you to the promised land.
Yeah, Kwan is incredible. Jimenez, I mean, they got a lot of pieces there. Naylor is great, but they got to figure out some more in that bullpen. The very end is incredible with Class A, best reliever in baseball. They got to figure out more of that bullpen, but all that stuff. I think they're going to struggle with Detroit. Detroit's offense really wasn't even good for half the year this year, 3/4 of the year this year. When that offense gets better, that pitching's incredible. The bullpen was amazing. That's going to be some problems for them. And again, the Royals are still going to get better. It's just a matter of, is Perez going to keep doing his thing? Because that's really where that team is. Yeah. So they got to improve some of those other stuff. But again, they're still going to be a great team. Steven Voigt is awesome.
Real quick, 30-second answer. If you are the Kansas City Royals, are you looking to trade Salvador Perez right now because he's getting a little long in the tooth and you could bring in some guys that could be there for the next 5-7 years?
Nope, not at all. I'll never think about it. I will never even consider it them. He is a captain. He's the captain of my team. So his value is far beyond the on-field stuff. On-field, if he was just another guy, hell yeah. But he's not. He's the captain. You just can't trade him. You can't move him because he just means so much. He's going to become a manager of that team. He's going to become the whatever. He'll be there no matter what. I think he's going to be a Royal for life. And you'll always see him in a Royal uniform until he has a couple years sucking as a head coach and then as a manager, and then they'll fire him. He'll be somewhere else.
He might be the player coach one day as the backup catcher.
I could see it. I could see it, and I could see it really soon too. But other than they're having so much success, I wouldn't mess with anything outside of bringing in a couple good veteran guys. Maybe bullpen arm or two, but keep doing what they're doing.
We'll talk about that and the Mets and everybody else after the season when the Swami, the prognosticator of prognosticators, yours truly, comes back and tell. But I'm always right.
When you say the prognosticator, it's just so dumb. Anyways, but I'll say this: you're pretty right about a lot of things. Now, World Series preview. When we're looking at these two teams, the Yankees and the Dodgers. In all reality, probably the best two teams all year long. You throw some other teams in there, Baltimore and Philly and stuff like that, and how good they were throughout the year. These really are the two big heavyweights we were looking for, and I know you said it. And you said it 100% exactly right. It's what I don't want to say this. Actually, I think you said it wrong. I think you said everybody wanted it. I think everybody hates it so much that they kind of love it. And they kind of like, yeah. Like it's like when you just hate somebody, but you can't keep your eyes off of them. Like that's what this is that this is the World Series. And it's like the election. You're not necessarily choosing somebody. You're choosing like, who do you hate the least? Who do you not like the most? Like, so it's like all Yankee haters and Dodger haters around the world like unite. So it's like 28 teams and the rest of the world versus them. But in all reality too, when you're adding in the Yankees and the lore and the Dodgers, I saw a stat the other day that this series is almost exactly even over the course of history.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly even. Like for the last 2 games they played, they were 1-1. The last 4 games they were 2-2. The last goes all the way down to 20, and they were 10-10. And then it goes to like the last 50 games, they're 25-25. And then it goes like regular season, they're 11-11. It's insane how even this series is. Obviously, Yankees have a lot more World Series titles. But what I want to do here, James, I want to go position by position. We're not going to take all day here and say, who would you take? Okay?
Okay.
All right. So let's start. Let's start right at a gate here. We'll go catcher. Austin Wells for the New York Yankees. We're looking at Will Smith for the Dodgers. Who are you taking?
This one's really close, but I'm going to go Will Smith. I think he's got a little more than Austin Wells.
I would say that too, and I think Austin Wells is young. He's learning. He might be very good over time. I think Will Smith is just kind of like that veteran now at this point, and has been there, done that, and been really, really good. And there's been seasons where he's been great.
By the way,
all right.
Will Smith, really funny on the Jumbotron at Citi Field when I went last week to watch the game when Will Smith was up at the place. They wrote up at the plate. They wrote, "Not just a slap hitter."
That's really stupid.
All right, fair enough. Keep going.
They could just right there. It would have been more funny. Like, did not slap. Oh my God, who was that? I'm just dying here.
Chris Rock.
Yeah, did not slap Chris Rock. Just put like a little star up there. Did not slap Chris Rock. That would be fun. Not a slap hitter is like what you do in like Little League. Good call, though. Yeah, thank you for sharing. All right. First base. Oh my God, base. Anthony Rizzo or Freddie the Freeman.
I'm sorry, Aaron Judge, but your bestie's not as good as the former MVP, Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman is on a different level than Anthony Rizzo. He's always been, always will be, perhaps a future Hall of Famer.
Always been. I would say there was a couple years though where Rizzo was about even. But Freddie Freeman, I mean, basically since the moment he stepped on the stage has been the same guy, like every year, the same dude. And he's really, really, really good. It's Freddie Freeman. I mean, without a doubt. All right, second base, we're going Gleyber Torres or Gavin Lux.
I'm going to go Gavin Lux. Just Gleyber Torres, he doesn't run hard. He's very inconsistent for me. He should have been a star. He's got all the tools to be a star, but he's just a lazy player. So I'm going to go Gavin Lux.
It's funny. Actually, Fangraphs has Gleyber Torres as a little bit slightly better of a player. but slightly in like ranking. I'm just going straight ranking. 83 for Lux and 79 for Graber Torres. But you know him, you've seen him a lot more, a little lazier. I think Gavin Lux kind of is one of those people that just want it more. I'll give you that. This is crazy, man. We've gone, 3 positions here, and we're sticking with Dodgers so far. Let's see if it continues at shortstop. We're going Anthony Volpe, the dude who took over for Derek Jeter, bringing him to the World Series, or I don't know, this Tommy Edman. I mean, this little guy. I mean, Tommy
the
Edman?
guy. He got the NLCS MVP. He's their cleanup hitter. I think I'll take Edman on this one.
I think I'd take Edman too. Volpe, though, I think it will have a solid career, but I don't see anything special. I don't think I see anything on this next level with him. Tommy Edman, I mean, this dude's has been with the Cardinals, had some solid years with the Cardinals, and stepping up in a perfect spot where the Dodgers need him. Tommy Edman, I mean, it's at this point where he's the way he's playing. But I would say this, Volpe, again, like Fangraphs has him ranked a lot higher than Tommy Edman. A lot higher, but right now you got to say how they're playing, and I'm taking Tommy Edman every single day of the week. I have to. You have to. All right, third base for the New York Yankees going out there is Jazz Chisholm Jr. Big trade in the trade deadline, one of those big trades, or Max Muncy.
I know that Jazz has played. You know what? I'm going to give it to Jazz. He's really played well since he's been a Yankee. I know Max Muncy has been really. This is a tough one. I hate saying Dodgers all the way in this, but Jazz has been really good for the Yankees. If you're talking about who's playing better right now, I'll go Jazz, but it's by a hair.
I think we got to look at there's now features into it 50%, but I think it's overall the course of the season too. You got to say if you say now Ohtani isn't one of the dudes, right?
Right.
You picked it up at the end, but I also wouldn't say Judges either because they picked it up a little bit, but come on. There's things here. Jazz Chisholm has been pretty good this year. I'll give him that. I mean, 24 home runs. He has stepped it up. A 256 batting average. Max is a opportunistic hitter. When he goes up and he gets that pitch in the right moment, he tends to come through with it. But at the end of the day, across the board, Jazz Chisholm kind of beats him in every single stat. I mean, it's 24 to 15 home runs. I get it. Dodger Stadium is not Yankee Stadium. There's a big difference there in home runs and stuff like that. But I got to give the Jazz. That's our first Yankee, right?
Yeah.
We got a catcher all the way around the diamond up till third base. That's our first Yankee. Left field, Alex Verdugo or Teoscar Hernandez.
Verdugo can go away because he is not the guy in this. It's definitely Teoscar.
Yeah, I feel bad because I got on and said Teoscar, that Verdugo trade was going to be a huge trade for the Yankees. It did lock up a position at the same time, though. Man, there's some ups and downs, and doesn't seem like to be the guy that I thought he was going to be. Teoscar, I mean, this is just an incredible sign for the Dodgers, and it's amazing that he was even available, and that other teams were going after him. I mean, this is an absolute dude. He's a stud, and he's been playing like it. Center field, this tiny little guy named Aaron Judge, or we're gonna go with Enrique Hernandez. Kike.
Well, Kike has been really good, I'll go. No, there's nothing I can say here I can't even make an argument why it would be Kike. Kike, you're fantastic. You're a great ball player. I would take you on my team in a heartbeat. But Aaron Judge is the second best player in the world. It's Aaron Judge.
It's not even close. At the same time, it's not really fair to Kike because he's a fill-in. He's a fill-in center fielder. But he's a fill-in at every single position on the field. He can play everything. He's a dude you have to have on your roster. You kind of hate to play against him, and you love to have him on your team. Actually, he's not really that guy. You just enjoy him. He loves baseball, and he loves his teammates. He loves the game. You love the dude, and actually I saw him right before he signed with the Dodgers. I saw him and talked to him in the batting cage for about 10 minutes. And I only played with him for a couple months. He's a great dude. You just love the guy. So I'm going there.
And you gotta love the name Kike.
Kike. Enrique Kike. All right, so that gets us to right field. Juan Soto or Mookie Betts. Oh, brother. Oh, where are we going with this?
Do I have to choose one? Can I just say it's a tie?
That's the whole point of the show, though. We have to pick one.
I'll take Juan Soto because I think he's more talented. It's so hard to say somebody's more talented than Mookie Betts, but oh God, I'll take Juan Soto, but not by a lot.
I mean, here's what it is. This is the separator for me. When you get to like on base percentage, right? Over the course of the year, 372 for Mookie Betts, 419 for Soto. That's on base. So Soto's getting on base 40% or 40 like 0.4 more, right? Okay. So he's getting on base. And he's got 41 home runs compared to 19. So he's got a lot more home runs this year. He's getting on base more. Slugging is significantly higher, almost 100 points higher. The dudes are like this. At the same time, the Soto is just the way he's been playing. Oh yeah. Man, I'll face Betts every day of the week versus Soto right now, and I would have said that about halfway through the season on. Like, oh, there was times Mookie. God, there were times Mookie. It's Soto. But this is a fun argument to have. Right now, it's Soto. Now, Mookie Betts about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I'm like, dude, I don't know. But Soto right now is stepping up into he's the best right fielder in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
So that gets us. Okay, so around the diamond, let's look at this. Judge and Soto and Jazz Chisholm are the only Yankees that we have picked so far. Everybody else, Dodgers. That gets us to the DH. Giancarlo Stanton and Shohei Ohtani.
Let me think for a second. You think it might be Shohei?
So it has to be Shohei. Right, we're both gonna pick Shohei. But we have to throw this out there. I don't know if there's been anybody more impactful in the playoffs than Giancarlo Stanton and what he's done and what he did in this series against the Guardians. It's been incredible.
Yeah.
But you got to go with Ohtani. Now, if I'm facing them, I don't want Stanton at the plate. I might take Ohtani because I think he's just in a little funk or something like this. And like, if you give me a little lefty that's throwing some weird stuff, I definitely don't want Ohtani right now. At the same time,
I disagree. Ohtani's out of his funk. He's out of his funk. I mean, the only funk that he had was he was 0 for 22 with nobody on base, but he was hitting with guys on base all the time.
17 for 19 with guys on base.
Oh, I'm sorry?
He was like 17 for 19 with guys on base.
And then the last two games of the Mets series, he started turning it up again, and it's not even close. It's Ohtani. I'm sorry. I know he had a little bit of a funk to start the playoffs, but it's Ohtani. It's Ohtani all the way right now. If I had to pitch to one of them, I'd still pitch to Stanton. I'm not going anywhere near Ohtani. I'm walking him. I'm treating Ohtani like he's Barry Bonds.
So let's just throw these out there. OPS for these two teams are separated by 15 points, with the Dodgers having the lead. A lot of that has to do with home runs. 20 home runs to 13 home runs. RBIs, God, the Dodgers are almost like 66 to 39 in RBIs over the course of the playoffs. More hits, obviously, a lot more runs for the Dodgers. Average is better for the Dodgers, and so kind of overall better numbers offensively for the Dodgers in the playoffs. They played roughly the same amount of games. Let's just call it the same amount of games.
And they played better play. They played against better pitching.
It's been impressive. Well, especially with what the Padres were giving them.
Mm-hmm.
And the Mets actually stepped up pretty good. So now. Let's just do this. We'll do this really quick off the bench, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We'll just do it all off the bench. Off the bench, you got Trevino, Birdie, Cabrera, Dominguez, and Grissom for the Yankees. I don't know if that's all. They all made the playoff roster, all that, but they're there. At least Fangraphs tells me they're there. Versus Austin Barnes, Chris Taylor, Kevin Kiermaier. I didn't even know that. Andy Pages. Who you taking off the bench?
Oh, I think it's funny. I think that the Yankees have the best potential player in the Martian and Dominguez. But I think overall it's probably the Dodgers. I think they're a little deeper. But
Yeah,
it's not significant.
Stud. Kiermaier obviously you can throw out there, but Birdie's pretty damn good.
And Pages has been very good.
What?
And Pages has been very good as well.
Yes, so it's interesting. Is that how you say Pages?
Pages, yeah. Pothead.
Don't name me Andy if you're gonna be Pages.
Why?
Like,
they named
Andy
Ray
Pages.
Hey,
you're right.
Ralph Fiennes is Ray Fiennes.
I'm gonna call him Pages. All right. Rotation. Let's just throw this out there. We're gonna throw it all as a group. You got Walker Buehler with his giant tattoo on his back. By the way, never saw that before. His entire back is a giant tattoo. I think it's like a scorpion. I don't know, something. Might be a giant like fighting bird or something. I don't know. And then you got Jack Flaherty and Yamamoto. The second half of your Japanese connection there versus Garrett Cole, Clark Schmidt, Luis Gil, who was coming out of the bullpen, and Carlos Rodon.
I'll say the Yankees because they have the best starter out of everybody. Their number one is the best pitcher. And I think everything else is a bit of a wash. Like if you go just, Cole against Yamamoto, I'll give the edge to Cole. You go Flaherty versus Rodon. Rodon has a little more upside. Flaherty, I think, is a safer play. I think Rodon will actually pitch well in this series. I'll take Buehler though as the third guy, and then I'll go Heel, I guess, for the. It's really close to me. I'll go Yankees, but barely.
So I'm going to say this. Looking at the data, like stats, like I know data, it's just ERA. The Yankees are a full point better right now in the playoffs. Over a point better in the playoffs than their counterpart in the Dodgers.
But who did they play?
Rotation. Like I believe in Rodon and Cole. And even Schmidt and Heel a little bit. Like I believe in Cole and Rodon right now a heck a lot more than anybody on the Dodger side. Yes, Buehler had a great start, but the start before that was just booty. And then Flaherty and Yamamoto, you just don't know what you're getting with these guys, and that Flaherty's had great starts and stuff like this. So I give it to the Yankees in this. And then bullpen. The bullpen of the Dodgers, we're not going to get into everybody, but when the big names, right? When you're talking about like Kopech, Trinan, Phillips, this kind of Daniel Hudson in there a little bit. Brent Honeywell had a piece of it versus Luke Weaver, Clay Holmes, Canely, Mazig's getting in there a little bit. Cousins, who you got there?
Oh, it's Dodgers all the way.
Dodgers?
Yeah.
Really? Why? What is the difference for you when the Dodgers?
They've been better all year, but you forgot to mention one very important thing.
What?
There is a man named Shohei Ohtani who has been pitching and has been practicing. And what is he going to do? He's going to come out of the bullpen, and he's going to be the last pitcher on the mound for the Dodgers. I believe this. It's going to be the storybook ending. He's going to be the guy to strike out Judge to end the World Series. I'm calling it right now, baby.
I like how you said they've been better all year. They've been better by like 0.09.
But they've been better.
Regular season. So better. They are 0.09 better in the playoffs. The bullpen is actually worse, and a lot worse than that by 0.4. Actually, more than that, 0.6 worse. So almost more than half a run worse than the Yankees. And in all honesty, outside of throwing Luke Weaver every single god dang day, every single day, the Yankees would have closed that series out in 4. And so. And I look at that and go, because they didn't need to use them in 3. It was a 4-run lead. They used them, and then he comes back and in the 4th game and is exhausted, actually gave up the runs. The Yankees far, 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 far better bullpen and pitching like it. The Dodgers, the problem too is the Dodgers have bullpen days. And so the Dodgers bullpen is going to go out there and just have a day where they just got to suck it up and just get worn out. That's just what the Dodgers are built like, because you have an entire all-star lineup on your IR. So for me, for my money, I'm going with the Yankees there. So you hear it first. I don't even know who won this whole thing. The Dodgers. I think the Yankees on the pitching overall. Yankees pitching. Dodgers lineup by far.
Yeah.
But
no, let's
great
go back
equalizer, though. Soto right in the middle there. He's kind of the great equalizer, honestly, just with how moments seem to find him. It doesn't even matter who it is. There might be other players that are better in the world. The moment always seems to find Soto, and he always seems to be at the plate when it matters.
Yep.
And I can't.
Let's go back to what I was saying, though. Do you believe that Shohei Ohtani will get on the mound in this World Series?
If it gets to Game 6, yes. If it's ending Game 5, if the Dodgers are getting beat and it's like Game 5, no. But I think if we get to Game 6 or Game 7, I think it will get to a point where you see him at least warming up. I will put my money on that. You will see him warming up. You will see something, because they're so good and they're so right now. I just think they can win. This team is so good. They have him for 10 years, and that's the only thing that would stop me from pitching him. You have him for 10 years. But from a rehab progression standpoint, he's ready. He should be in games. It's just when the lights are on in the World Series and the pressure and all that, is he going to try so hard and blow out? I don't want that to happen, and I can't lose the bat. So I say you're going to see him warm up.
I think he's going to do it, and I don't think it's going to wait till Game 6. I think if in Game 5, if they're about to win and there's some, if you see Judge and Soto as 2 of the next 3 up, I think he's going to get into that game and end the game. I really do.
Ooh. I think if the Dodgers can win in 5 or something like that, I think they might throw him. God, it's gonna be tricky. That's a lot. Right now they have these. They're going through these questions. Dave Roberts and Freeman in the front office are sitting there and going over these questions, and these are really, really, really hard questions to answer, because he technically should be ready, but the pressure, and you don't throw guys in coming off of injuries into pressure like this. But Shohei seems to always find a way to come through, right?
Yep. You know who else comes through? Any pitchers that work with David Arzma at Top Velocity Pro. Boom, that's a segue. David, tell us about Top Velocity Pro.
You got me there. That was pretty good. The Top Velocity Pro, your source for any player development needs. Come to me, message me, go to topvelocitypro.com, go to any social media, find Top Velocity Pro, and send me a message. I can help with any of your throwing needs, and I will get you better. I will make you the best version of yourself you will ever be. Check out Top Velocity Pro. How do you like that, James?
That was nice, good. Right? I like it.
Yeah. But there is somebody I do not want to see in Top Velocity Pro, James. Somebody I don't want there. Deshaun Watson. Because there are times where I'll have to massage his leg, and I do not know what's going to happen, and I do not want to be near it. I want to make sure I'm not massaging the wrong leg. But Deshaun Watson, it hurt again. First reaction, James, to Deshaun Watson going down, tearing his Achilles. Do you feel bad for him at all?
Do I feel bad for him? Listen, any time that a guy is a professional athlete and he doesn't have the chance to play, I feel bad for them, because that's his dream. Other than hanging out in massage parlors with, half-naked girls, his dream was to be a top-tier quarterback. But I know that the Cleveland Browns are super happy, because they're like, well, this guy was crap. We needed a reason to bench him, so he gave us that reason. So thank you, Deshaun Watson, for sucking, and now we can maybe get a better draft pick next year and get a quarterback that we can build around.
Do you feel that unjustly the fans were basically cheering when he got hurt?
No, I don't think the fans were unjustly cheering. At the end of the day, you take a look at what the Browns actually gave up for Deshaun Watson. They gave up 3 first-round picks. They gave up some more picks. And then they gave this guy the biggest contract in NFL history, guaranteed $230 million. And then he was what as a starter? 2-6.
Horrible.
So if you're a fan and you're saying, wait a minute, hold on a second, I'm paying every week to go, go to the stadium and watch my team, and we're giving this guy $250 million and he's stinking up the joint, get him off the damn field. I'd be happy.
And this is something that I took away from that. I saw it when it happened. The game was on when it happened. I didn't take it as the fans cheering him being hurt. I took it as the fans cheering because they didn't want him as their quarterback in the first place. They've been asking for him to be removed all season long. The Browns were not listening. I think there was a lot of people in the city would have never wanted to trade for him, never made that decision. And that wasn't their decision. They didn't make that. And the Browns put him in that position where he was there. They sacrificed the future for him. And the Browns were cheering all of that, basically saying, there's a bad way to say it, and it's not the case, but it almost felt like they're saying God stepped in and said, we got you. Like, you don't have to go through this. It's not, I get everything I'm saying there, but at the end of the day, it's like they won't listen to the fans. The fans didn't want him. His numbers weren't proving that he should be there. They totally sold out their entire future for him. And the Browns weren't going to do anything to listen to the fans. They weren't looking at their eyes. They gave him a contract that nobody could justify. This dude would have played for pennies. All he wanted to do was play, just to have a job, because nobody would have wanted him in the NFL. And they gave him this massive contract that immediately everyone was like, what are you doing? Because just the timing didn't justify it, let alone how his talent was. Like, you can just sit back. It didn't matter. He was a great quarterback. Sit back and wait, because no one else is going to pay him. It's like Trevor Bauer. No one wants to pay him a penny. He's worth $30 million, $40 million, and nobody wants to pay him a penny. And he'll come back and said he'll play for free. That's the type of thing they could have had with him. And I think the fans were so frustrated and angry with the Browns ownership. They were cheering that, and they were saying, thank you. We'll take anybody but this guy, even though you're going to be paying for him for the next 5 years.
And what's even worse is that you see Baker Mayfield, who they had, who's actually playing decent football. So you got rid of Baker Mayfield. No,
got rid of decent. He was the number one quarterback in the league.
Okay, he was playing very, very good football. So you had him, you got rid of him, and you gave another guy $250 million guaranteed, and he's shitting the bed. So yeah, I'd be pissed off if I was a Browns fan. Hell, I know how they feel. I know exactly how Browns feel. It's
close.
The Jets haven't had a quarterback. The Browns haven't had a quarterback. And what did both teams do? They ended up getting a veteran quarterback, overpaying for that veteran quarterback, and both of them are in the shithole now.
Ooh, I don't know. I still believe the Jets have a much, much, much better future ahead of them, and than the Browns. I think the Jets have a much better future.
I think you're crazy. What future?
They're both Jets fan, and this is how you live your life. Is this like seeing the hatred and anger, and you can't look at it from the outside. I am an optimistic person because I'm not a Mets fan. I can look at this and say, I think they're gonna be okay. One, Aaron Rodgers is not playing Aaron Rodgers type of football. I don't know if he'll ever play it again, but there's still a level of football better than what he's playing, and I think he can get there. They just have to find that mesh and that spot where that.
I'm just so used to players coming to New York, to my team specifically, the Jets, the Mets, the Knicks, the Rangers, being overhyped, coming over here and then crapping the bed. You look at every quarterback the Jets have ever drafted. Crap. Look at half of the free agents the Mets have brought in, whether it be Jason Bay or David Ardsma. Garbage. You talk about some of the old Rangers that were brought in. Garbage over the Pat LaFontaine, Luc Robitaille. I can name them all day. So I am used to trash.
It's a great name. I haven't heard that name in forever.
Yeah.
Luc Robitaille.
I'm used to trash. So yeah, I feel for you Browns fans. I know the Miz is, somebody that I know he's always miserable because he's a Browns fan. It's tough. It's really tough. I feel bad for him.
I got to say this: being in New York, are you feeling the Yankees energy? Is there World Series buzz?
Oh, there's definitely a World Series buzz, but I'm feeling the Dodger energy.
No.
But yeah, there's definitely a buzz, and it would be a much bigger buzz if it was Mets Yankees. But there's definitely a buzz because the Yankees are back in the World Series. But again, it's all these bad vibes that you're getting from years of misery with the Jets, with the Mets, with the Knicks. So yeah, that's just how you feel.
NFL, and I know we didn't talk about this beforehand. I'm gonna throw this out to right now. Best team in the AFC. Chiefs are undefeated, but they're not playing great football, right? They're not going out there and just like, they don't look like this team put together like they have in the past. Right. Are they the best team in the NFL?
Yes. 100% they're the best team in the NFL, and you say they haven't started off playing like the Chiefs, they're gonna play like the Chiefs. The biggest problem with the way the offseason is run right now, where nobody gets into the preseason, it takes 3 or 4 games typically for teams to get into that groove. I think they're starting to get into that groove, and they're going to continue that groove all the way through. That's just my opinion.
Do you think the 49ers are done?
With the injury to Ayuk and the problems that they've had with McCaffrey, I think the cupboard is starting to get a little bare over there, yes.
Cupboard's starting to get a little bare. Literally, their best player was shot in the chest and made their debut this week. It was literally their best player outside of Brock Purdy. The amount of crap Brock Purdy gets and the unlove everybody gives him because he's just a great pocket passer, Brady-esque kind of style thing. That's not doesn't look like a pure classic leader. Is unfathomable to me because this dude's a stud. This dude is a top 5 quarterback in the league. Easy by far. It's just that he went to a team with a lot of weapons, but he's been playing this whole year without weapons, without his weapons, and he's been doing incredible. And they keep taking weapons away, and he still plays well, and he still is able to manage these games. So I don't think he gets enough love. The Lions versus the Chiefs right now, these seem like the top 2 teams in the league. Where do you think the Lions compare?
I think it's 1 and 1A. I think the Lions are right below them just because of the loss of Hutchinson. Yes, that is a much bigger loss than people talk about.
It's a massive loss, and that's going to suck. And again, most likely out for the whole rest of the season. Again, this is Hutchinson, so I doubt it, and he'll be ready for the playoffs. Probably, and he'll probably be the best player ever in the world. Moving on from the greatest league in the world to the worst league in the world, the WNBA. They're figuring out ways to just completely cut their own legs off again. This isn't a shock. This is actually a little better than what we were expecting. But the WNBA is set to lose $40 million this year. There were reports earlier in the year that it was going to be $50 million. They're going to lose $40 million. James, is this where do you believe like the league should go from here? Do you think they have a place in professional sports? They're not going anywhere, but do you think they have a place in the professional sports world where we're talking about the NBA and Major League Baseball, NFL, etc.? Do they have a place in that world?
No, they don't. It's very obvious. If you're losing $40 million a year when you're paying the players absolutely nothing, you know that you are a bad league. So that's the bottom line. And you're not paying them anything. But the women, they want to be paid like the players. So instead, what I propose is that they should pay the players exactly what they pay the male players. So that way, instead of losing $40 million, they can lose $4.6 billion, because that's what the players in the NBA make. So that's what the owners in the WNBA should lose, $4.6 billion.
So the NBA owners own 60% of the league. Then it's all private owners, and a lot of like now it's starting to become some private ownership amongst the owners of the league. They're expanding. So there's a couple things going on. They're going to expand the league. They're going to expand the playoffs. So they're going to add in that will add more revenue. Plus, they're signing a $2.2 billion media deal this year. So like right now, $2.2 billion. So that adds basically $100 million into the league every single season.
Who is that fucking stupid to give them $2.2 billion? Nobody watches
I think you're missing this. That's the problem, is that you're still in a position that's missing the amount of fandom coming out. The Indiana Fever outdrew the Indiana Pacers.
Congratulations. They have the one
on
draw.
average, more people went to their games than the Pacers. More people went to a WNBA game than an NBA game over the entire course of a season, James.
Yes, and that's totally cool.
But James, when you say these things aren't relevant, these things can't happen, these things aren't going to change anything, they're outdrawing the NBA.
But it's a 1 year spike because she is the new hot thing. That's the only reason.
But this has actually been a trend. That's the problem. This has been a trend. This is growing. Now, there was a big spike. I'll give you that. There's no hiding that. Caitlin Clark has changed this league. But $2.2 billion coming in, which means it's over $100 million a year. That makes your $40 million loss, James, and makes that a $60 million gain. So when you add on top of that, though, the WNBA players decide now they want to get paid more. They actually today, or I think it might have been yesterday, officially left negotiations. WNBA players reps and their union left the negotiation table to ask for more money. So they are starting to do like basically a mini strike. Do you think, when you're adding that money, I get it. You don't think it's viable. You don't like it. When you're adding in that money, does that change things for you? Does that change your outlook on this league?
No, not at all. Because guess what? That extra $60 million that they're going to make, now these women are going to say, oh, we deserve that because look, we're helping the league grow. And you only got $2.2 billion because of us. And they will get it. They will get it because we're in a woke fucking world. And we have to play nice and make sure that everybody gets theirs, even if they don't fucking deserve it. This is bullshit.
That's it. Very angry. Very angry.
Yeah.
I've got no problem with the players wanting more money. I've got no problem if they can justify that the money's coming in for them. And right now, though, the problem is they haven't been able to say that until right this very moment. And I do think, though, that this league has changed. I think there is a lot more excitement around this league, especially because of Caitlin Clark, but because some of these other players have created some anger around her, like Angel Reese. Angel Reese has played the bad girl. She's played this. Like they've done everything they can possibly do to hate Caitlin Clark. The same time, more people are viewing this game. Like when you get into the Lynx versus the Liberty game, the WNBA finals. Who cares? I didn't know that they were playing the finals, but they played the finals. 1.1 million viewers, and the game 2 did better at 1.34 million viewers for that game, which is actually pretty incredible because they lined up directly with the NFL. They lined up straight up with the NFL and took viewers from the NFL.
Okay. That's great. It's their championship. That's the only time that they should be getting some viewers from the NFL. What's more important, week 6 of the NFL or the WNBA finals? It should be the WNBA finals because it's a championship series. Yep. But if it was the Super Bowl going up the WNBA finals, guess what the rating would be for the WNBA finals?
Oh, it'd be nothing, but that's why nobody programs anything around the Super Bowl. At the same time, James, we have to look at this and say, from a numbers and dollars standpoint, this was an 82% increase in viewership. That's not small. That is massive. And Caitlin Clark was not in this game. Now, imagine if Caitlin Clark was in this game. Holy crap. At the same time, when she is in the finals, we'll see those numbers. But we have to face reality. People are tuning in. The problem is, people think, and those athletes that are on the court think, that they can put up with the NBA, that they can do what the NBA does, and the athletes are the same. They're not, that they shouldn't be paid like that. Angel Reese has come out and basically said that they're getting paid nothing, $80,000 or $90,000 is what she made this year, and that or whatever number it is, it's like nothing compared to her. What she's saying is the amount that she's getting paid, but she's basically saying that it's so little it can't even pay any of her bills. She's $74,000 is what her salary is, and it can't pay for her apartment, which, by the way, she's paying $8,000 a month. Maybe downsize a little bit if you're
get a cheaper place.
But at the same time, she's at $1.7 million in endorsements. James, let's think about this though. She is a WNBA player with $1.7 million in endorsements. How many baseball players do you think even come remotely close to $1.7 million in endorsements?
Not many. But guess what? It's because she's a woman. It's this woke garbage that they have to promote this female equality. It's for the same reason that you gave Beyonce her own fucking sneaker. Beyonce doesn't deserve a sneaker. Why does Angel Reese deserve anything? And your 82% increase in viewership, you know what that is? That's 82% more people who realized that they cannot play ball. There's
times where it's really rough. There's times when I retweeted one, I put it out there. It was really rough. At the same time, we can't ignore this. And this is our problem, is that you're getting so angry about it that you can't ignore that they're pulling in viewers, that they're getting people to watch, that they're getting people to pay their athletes money to be on things, which means they're moving merchandise, which means people are buying their crap, right? So that's the problem, is like, we just got to, if we're looking at this from dollars and cents standpoint and actually viewership standpoint, they're kicking other leagues' asses. They're doing great. They're growing. They are growing at an exponential rate right now. You want to get angry about it? It's a bad product, but people want it, and people are paying attention to it. And I'll be honest, if you're on the outside of this, you're going to lose out. Like, if there was money to be made here, you're not making any, and other people are going to start making a lot.
No, I'm sorry. I can't agree with you in any way. If you give people a bad product, they're going to go away. I can convince 1 million people to come to my restaurant, but if I give them shit food, they're not coming back. And that's what the WNBA is doing. They're giving them shit food, and they expect people to come back to the restaurant.
Do people go to McDonald's?
Yes.
Is that good food or bad, or shit food?
That depends on your point of view. I think some of it is pretty tasty. I like a good Big Mac.
I think most of the world will say it's pretty shit food. They keep showing up for it because it's there, it's cheaper, and it's a quick. It's there. Something they can get it.
Okay.
They don't all go to Ruth Chris. They don't go to Mastro's every single night. So there's an option for them and an option for others. You want the beautiful product? Go to the beautiful product and pay more money. You want to be entertained, and this is what they're doing, man. What they're learning is entertainment. Angel Reese, how as annoying as she is, and how I think she's really a pretty crappy basketball player, it's entertaining.
So what's entertaining about watching shitty basketball? Yeah, you're going to take your kids, but then when you say, hey, look at Angel Reese, she went 3 for 12 from the floor. Fantastic. What did you see? You saw a shitty shooter.
20 rebounds though, bro. But I'm just saying, they're creating a product, and it's starting to get attention, and it's growing, and that $40 million, that loss of $40 million, which is a loss, and they've lost every year. I bet when you start looking at next year and 2 years and whatever, that's a gain, and it's positive. It's no longer negative, and this is why you invest in something, and this is why you put your money into something for a long-term investment. That's why billionaires, stay billionaires, is that they don't drop an investment really quickly, that they let it grow.
Okay, I tell you what, if the NBA decided, you know what, they're about to get this financial windfall, the WNBA, all that money is coming right back in. So we're going to pull out now. We're going to get all of our money back. So we need somebody to find somebody who's going to buy the league. David, are you willing to buy the league without the NBA's money?
If I had a financial backing of the type of NBA, one hell yeah money percent, yes.
So you're saying if the NBA was no longer involved in the WNBA and it was up for sale and you had the money, you would buy that league?
I wouldn't even think twice.
I've got
just look at the numbers. Look where it's going. That's the problem, is you're so angry about it. You're not even seeing the dollars and cents. Where it's growing, dude, it is going to be making money. It is a profitable business like right next year.
The WNBA is fucking GameStop stock. It went up because of a whole bunch of hype, but at the end of the day, it's nothing. It's artificial bullshit.
Yeah, but the player that we're all talking about hyping it all up wasn't even in the finals. He had 82% increase in the finals. 1.4 million viewers is real money.
And in 2 years, nobody's going to care about her. A couple of years ago, everybody was talking about Coco Gauff.
I never even heard the name.
Exactly.
And like right now, I never even heard the name. 2 years ago, never heard the name. But I guarantee you, in 2 years, they're still talking about Angel Reese. They're still going to be talking about Caitlin Clark, and they're going to be talking about the next group of basketball players. Because the thing about it is, it's becoming the sport of women, and it's becoming the first realistic professional sport for women.
Yeah, you know what, viewers, listeners, please get on the comments, support me, because Dave is crazy. I don't know if he woke up all woke today. I don't know.
What woke me up is the numbers, and that's the problem. I think the league, the quality of the product is not good. I think watching Angel Reese is a disgrace to basketball. She can rebound, but stop shooting the ball. Just stop shooting the ball. Just rebound. Be Dennis Rodman. Score your 5 and get your 20 rebounds, and just enjoy being that. Okay, stop hyping up the double doubles because they're crap. At the same time, Caitlin Clark is legit good. And there are some players in this league that are legit good, and they keep killing their own product by trying to push her out of the league and hate her. But, dude, the numbers just do not lie. The numbers do not lie.
Numbers can be skewed. Ask any CEO who cooks the books right before it's time for the stock to go public.
Well, let us know what you guys think. Jump in the comments. Send us the likes. Tell me how I'm right and James is wrong, because that's pretty much standard always. But make sure, if you want to listen to us on podcast, you'll find us on any platform. Just search for us. We will be there. If you don't want to look at our beautiful faces, just want to hear our amazing voices, look for that. But send us likes, send us comments, everything. And thank you for tuning in.
And I got a little giveaway this week. The first person who goes on the comments and says they actually want a David Aardsma autographed baseball card, I will send it to you. First person who does that in the comments.
I'm going to jump on right now and send a comment.